James Steinhubel, TVU on the Culture Channel. And today we have Anne Kuebler, owner of Dance Fusion. How are you doing today?
I'm great, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for taking time to visit. There's so much to talk about the studio and how you're doing your virtual school. But let's talk about what's on the forefront for you with your association of your studio owners and what you guys are up to there. That's really interesting.
It is actually. Yesterday we had a very long meeting there was over 85 studio owners province-wide, and we're coming up with a protocol to present to AHS on how we can reopen the studios. Zoom classes are great, but it's not the do-all and end-all to get everybody back training properly. But we need AHS's approval in order to get the kids back into the studios. So we're putting together a plan on how to monitor them entering. So they'll be given a health assessment before they're allowed to enter. We'll have that 6-foot distance between the kids as they're coming in. They'll go directly to the studio. We're going to have grids. I don't have my floor marked off, and I wish I had, because it would be something for you to show. We are going to have squares on the floor. So this is your dance spot, and that's where you stay. And so you come in, you dance, and then when the kids leave, we will sanitize the room in between classes, and the kids will exit from a different doorway. I'm lucky I have 3 exit or entrances in my space. So they'll enter at the front, be assessed there, come up the stairs, and enter into their studio. And then we will allow probably 10 or 15 minutes in between the start of the classes so that we don't have any backlog in the hallway. Parents will not be allowed to be in our lobby area. We can't have waiting areas and that kind of stuff. Class sizes will be limited to under 15, at least at the present time. So we've got a lot of things to figure out how we can keep that up. One of the teachers recommended getting UV lights. That's kind of an expensive proposition to sanitize each studio at night. But I think at the start, we're going to have to be washing the floors in between classes. So a lot of things to kind of come together. We're going to put together a mandate, pass it on to AHS, and then wait for their approval.
I think that the work that you're doing there is going to be, well, it's good work for sure. And it's going to be applicable to a lot of other similar type of educational types of businesses. So I really look forward to hearing how that
all comes together.
Yeah, because I think other groups, like I'm thinking, certain kind of, other like martial arts people that do more of the circuit training, maybe the circuit training people, they're all going to be able to benefit from the work that you're doing. So that's interesting. Now, so then now let's back to Dance Fusion. So as COVID approached and the different restrictions were coming on and the different protocols were being put forward and different ways of sanitizing and cleaning, how did that go for you with you guys, or you were already pretty well a clean operation an industry in the beginning anyways?
Well, I think we thought so. Definitely not sanitizing everything every minute of every day, but we sort of watched the progression as March hit, and and this is supposed to be our fun time of the season. It's the end of the year. The kids are getting ready to go to all of their festivals, to perform their groups and solos, and then we have our year-end recital, which actually today is the 6th. We would be a month away from our recital. So they've lost all those opportunities. And that's actually what started, it just sort of mushroomed, right? Everybody kept saying, oh, we're going to postpone our festivals. So that started. And then March 14th was the last day we were actually allowed to do in-house classes. They shut the public schools, and then that's it. We're done, we're finished. And then we started figuring out, where do we go from here? And we all did. Normally we're a competitive group, right? Like, I have several studios in the Sherwood Park area, and we compete for students. But at this point in time, everybody rallied together. How can we keep our businesses going? What can we do? Some of us were eligible for some of the government subsidies, but not all of them. And how were we going to survive, right? And what are we looking at? It was tricky, but I have sanitation wipes everywhere for the staff when they do come in to teach here. We have sanitation wipes at the stairs. Presently, there's only myself, my husband, and the two teachers that come in here. And we're not here at the same time. It's been a tricky adjustment.
So, but you have adjusted, and the vibrant and active dance community and culture couldn't be held back by COVID and a closed dance studio, and so it's spilled out into Zoom. You guys are really busy. Just share what you guys are doing there.
Okay, well, we have classes 6 days a week. Yeah, and I think I have 5 or 6 teachers teaching on Monday night. As I said, most of them are teaching from their home. So that's always interesting, right? And then you get the kids who are taking the classes from their homes too. And that's been a challenge. Move the furniture out of the way. Make sure you're not going to hurt yourself by kicking something or whatever. And they get to interact, which is really good. These kids, dance isn't just an activity for them, it's a social event, right? And for a lot of them, it's a safe place. It's their happy place, and so they're missing out on that. By taking a Zoom class, they get to see their teacher, they can interact one-on-one, and they can also see their friends. So I think that's a real bonus. We have, I think, 5 teachers that teach on Tuesday, the same Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday is interesting. That's normally our aerial and acro day for classes in-house in the studio. And that instructor is doing her stuff from home. Obviously, she doesn't have aerial equipment, but she's working with the kids on keeping themselves limber and flexible and ready to go. It's
That
been an
is,
adventure.
yeah, but that is such a great insight on how you kept it going, and that goes right back, to your you've been a dancer since you've been 5 years old, and you studied with the Royal Winnipeg Ballet, but
That was as an adult, though. I have to tell you,
oh, okay, okay,
I danced as a little child,
okay,
and then my parents were in that financial situation. Do we choose dance or music? My dad was a musician,
okay.
so I had to take piano and whatever. So dance got put on the back burner. And when I grew up and went to university and whatever, I started to take class again. So I was taking class at the Royal Winnipeg as a young adult.
Okay, but your university degree is actually quite pertinent to now.
To what's going on right now, yeah.
Yeah, what is your degree?
It is a microbiology degree. And I started out working, my very first job was working in the Brandon General Hospital in the micro lab. And then I branched out into food micro, and the provincial government in Manitoba sent me to Cincinnati, Ohio, and I took some specialized training there. Came back, I worked for the Manitoba government until my husband was transferred to Alberta.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yes, you remember all the things. When you go to the washroom, you wash your hands, you take the napkin that you've dried your hands with and you use that to open the bathroom door. So all those skills come back and you remember them, right?
Well, yeah, and so to have that kind of training and wisdom and insight with your association, that's remarkable that it's come that both of your professions have come together at this time. It's interesting. So going forward, what do you see? So we're talking, maybe, more than likely September, January, and then in that light, what's the plan? What's your what you
What's
think?
my plan? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
what's your
I'm
go
not
forward?
looking at September. I'm looking at June,
Okay.
July. I'm hoping that we can offer with this AHS protocol that we're coming up with. Um, we're hoping that we can start opening our doors to minimal numbers of students, offering some summer camps, very structured, very set up. And as much as we normally gear our summer camps to 5 and 6 year olds, I think you can understand trying to explain to them that they can't touch their friend or whatever. That's going to be our biggest hurdle when
Mhm.
we do open up our doors. So I think we're going to start maybe with the kids in the 8, 9, and 10-year-old range that we can say these are your parameters.
Mhm.
We're going to try to do that. I believe we can start working one-on-one, so we can do privates and have teachers maybe working with kids privately. And then what we're going to do is hopefully start registering for fall classes and aim to have a different protocol for our kids starting in the fall, but still be able to offer in-house classes starting in September. That's our goal.
How That's a good one, and it seems reasonable and clear to me. How can people get a hold of you?
Okay, well, our website is dancefusionsp.com. The studio phone number is 780-464-6963. And they can email at dancefusionsp@shaw.ca. Lots of ways to get a hold of us. We are working on the schedule because we know we are going to have smaller classes and that kind of thing. So we're going to probably shorten our classes to accommodate the same number of kids, but without any overlap and that kind of thing, adhering to AHS protocol.
Now, the last thing, you are, definitely someone who has stayed, connected to your business. I'm not sure, what you went through with the disruption of schedule and routine and, new things happening, but you seem to really have it together. You've kept your team together. You've reached out to the local people in the same business, but also provincially. You're organizing, and you're an active leader in getting business restarted and you've been in Sherwood Park for decades, and
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of people that most of the people that see this are going to know you, right? So what can you share from that point of view for the viewers, words that could be helpful for them at this time in their lives?
I think everybody needs to remember that we will get through this. Somebody said one thing, that we're all in the same boat. Yeah, we are, but everybody has a different paddle and is steering in a different direction. We will come out of this. I know that. I think we just have to keep thinking positively. And I know that's not always easy. I've had my moments too, where I've just gone, this is never going to work. We're never going to come out of this. But there are a lot of positives. And before we sign off, I just want to say that we're presently planning something for our grade 12 grads. They are not going to have grads. And so we're trying to figure out what we can do for our grads. We have 14 of them at the studio this year, which is, I think, the largest number of grade 12 kids we've ever had. And so we're going to do something special for them so that at least they get something out of this year, which would normally be their biggest finale to their dancing, right? And so I'm really looking forward to that, and all of the teachers are on board. I've been very lucky. I have a very supportive teacher base, and actually I have a hugely supportive family base. Our people that are associated with the studio are very dedicated to us.
Thank you so kindly. That's such a wonderful thing to hear that you're doing for the grads. It's such hope. Mary Anne Kuebler, owner, Dance Fusion, with me, James Steinhubel, TVU on the Culture Channel. Thank you so kindly.
Thank you for having me.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.